All right, guys. Chelsea have just beaten Crystal Palace in the second FA Cup semi-final of this weekend, and I think it's fair to say the level of football that was played today wasn't quite the same level as some of the football that Liverpool played in the first half yesterday. And City had a few good moments as well, but yeah, this game it was very even. The first half was even, but it was also cagey. There weren't many chances. I think Kiarte probably came the closest to scoring with quite a good volley. To be fair, Mendy got down well to save it, especially with the sun in his eyes. But yeah, I think the caginess sort of came from the fact that Patrick Vieira opted to go for three at the back, which I haven't seen Crystal Palace do this season. He went with Joel Ward and Tyrick Mitchell as wing backs, and he put Kouyaté in as a third centre back alongside Guehi and Anderson. It's like Bald saying his first name now. I never say it right. It's either Joachim, Whakim. I don't know. I think it's Joachim. Um, and in fact, Anderson probably had the best chance of the game. When I think Palace were already 2-0 down by this point, but he headed a very easy header over the bar, which he had to score. And I mean, if he had scored it, that gives Palace 10 minutes to push for another. And you never know, they could have got it. But yeah, 25 minutes to go. Chelsea took the lead through the substitute Ruben Loftus-Cheek, who came on for Mateo Kovacic. And Kovacic, I mean, he's Wembley's not his favourite ground, definitely, is it? Um, I don't know if he played in the League Cup final in February against Liverpool. I can't remember, to be honest. But if he did, they lost. I remember he got sent off against Arsenal in the FA Cup final in 2020. So, yeah, it's not the best ground for him. Um, yeah, Loftus-Cheek came on and he had a really good performance. And I can't believe it, but someone said, I think it was Sam Matterface, the commentator, who said that Loftus-Cheek's goal was the first goal he scored in 3 years, which I struggle to believe because he hasn't played much for Chelsea over the past 3 years, or up until this year anyway. He had a couple of years under Lampard and Tuchel's first season, where he was coming back from injury and he didn't get played much by either. I think he was out on loan at Fulham last season anyway. But like I'm struggling to believe that he hasn't scored in all that time. And he is a good player. He's one of them powerful midfielders that's good at running forward with the ball, and can get a shot off as he showed. He used really good technique with his half volley, got a lot of backspin on the ball. It did take a deflection off Anderson, which completely took it away from Jack Butland in goal, and he sent it right into the corner. But still, really good finish by Loftus-Cheek, and then Mason Mount made it two a few minutes later, and he's having a decent week, Mason Mount. I don't know what numbers he's got. I think he's got 4 goals and an assist. Might even be a couple of assists. But he's the past week for him has been quite good. Um, and his goal was well taken as well. He opened his body up and put it in the far corner once he ran inside the box. And yeah, that made it 2-0, game over, done and dusted. Well, it might not have been had Anderson scored that header I was on about, but from then on, Chelsea dominated, really. In fact, Lukaku should have made it 3 when he came off the bench. Well, I say should have. He's done his best to get there. He just hasn't quite got enough on it. It's not like he's put too little on it. It's one of them where he's stretching for it and he gets minimal contact and it skims off his foot and goes and hits the post awkwardly for him. Which, bit annoying for him, I guess. He's not having the best time this season, is he? And I mean, an FA Cup semi-final goal would be a bit of a bright moment for him, having like had the season that he has had. I mean, he's a £100 million striker and he's not in the starting 11. That's not great, is it? But yeah, Timo Werner got given the match, and I can completely understand why. He was causing Palace defenders problems all game, making lots of runs in behind. I think once Chelsea scored, Palace did make a change to the system, which made it easier for Chelsea, because Palace had to do it. Like they were defensively solid for the first hour, but they were struggling to get forward at the same time. So when he brought players like Ayew, Elise, and who else did he bring on? Benteke, that sort of throwing the kitchen sink at it. Although, to be fair, Palace for 60 minutes did really well, especially considering the fact that they're used to having Conor Gallagher play every game this season. And like Gallagher's one of those players who seems to have like 5 lungs. So they were always going to struggle a bit without his energy. Like Abire Eze, he's a good player, but I don't think he quite has the same impact on Palace's team when they're up against a big team and they're going to be chasing the ball for a lot of the game. Eze's more of a technical on the ball player. So he didn't have a bad game, Eze. He played quite well, but he's not Conor Gallagher to not that he's not on Gallagher's level or ever won't. I'm mixing up my words here. Not that he won't ever get to Gallagher's level, but what I'm saying is Gallagher's style is very important to how the Patrick Vieira plays. So they were missing Gallagher hugely. I think Palace would have probably done better had they started the game how they would usually. No, well, that's stupid actually, because I've just explained why. I mean, you never know how it could have gone if they'd have played their usual system without Gallagher, though. But yeah, I've sort of answered my own question before I've even said the question, haven't I, there? So well done, Charlie. Great video. But yeah, this means Liverpool will play Chelsea in the FA Cup final on the 14th of May. I mean, 10 years on, it was the same. 10 years ago, it was the same final, and I remember being distraught after it. As how old would I have been then? I think I was only 8 at the time, nearly 9. Well, yeah, because I'm 18, nearly 19 now. So, but yeah, Chelsea were the better side that game. But Andy Carroll came on and made a huge difference. He got a goal, and then had a shot that Loftus-Cheek saved. But I think it went over the line. However, you could also argue that I know Chelsea fans will say that. Luis Garcia's goal in 2005, it didn't go over the line, and that probably is right as well. So yeah, and also, I mean, even if Carroll's second goal did count, it goes to extra time, doesn't it? So it's not like it wins the game for Liverpool, is it? But enough about that. It should be a really good game. The one in February was probably the greatest 0-0 I've ever seen. So hopefully the one in how many weeks' time is it now? I think it's 4 weeks yesterday. Should be just as good. But yeah, anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.